All right, so I got the rain poncho on. It should be raining right now or just real soon. Been watching the radar all morning. I guess it's drizzling right this minute. Maybe it's drizzling. So I thought I'd come out here. We've dodged every weather event that we've had this morning. This morning, I don't know, I think 10 o'clock or so. I don't know what time it was. I was going to come out here and make a video. 100% chance of rain. So all morning long, I've been thinking, oh, I'm going to come out here. We're going to walk around, see how the place is doing. The thing I really want to see is make sure the ditch is working. I've talked about this a lot, and that new pipe is working. I really want to get a pretty good shot of that new pipe, the French drain pipe. I'm sure you can see that, the white pipe there. I want to see that working. The cloud just kind of whipped literally around us, just like that. So then they said, okay, we're going to have another rain event at 2 o'clock. Well, it's 2:30 now. And they've reduced the risk from 90% down to 30%. But I am watching the radar. It's supposed to be coming, and I can hear the thunder, which doesn't tell me anything. I heard the thunder this morning too. So I thought I'd come out here at least, and we'll see. But I got to get a video done at some point. Today's video is not about the well. I know people are going to complain about the well. The thing I want folks to understand is my channel is about off-grid living and the things that come with it. If you read in the description, it says the good, the bad, and I think the ugly or whatever it says of off-grid living. And the reason I put it that way is there's a lot of great things about this. But the other thing is there's a lot of bad, and there's a lot of things that I have to worry about. I don't come up with a new plan every day just for YouTube. I let my life guide my YouTube channel. For example, last year we bought this camper. I had to get more electric for Carolyn's son for the air conditioner there. I did a lot of videos about solar panels last, I don't know, probably May, June time frame, so he could have air conditioning for the July, August period. And of course, people complain, that's all you talk about is solar panels. Well, right now it's fall time, or excuse me, springtime, and I'm worried about the well. So now is the time to talk about the well. This is how off-grid is. It's not a new exciting adventure every day. Let's talk about the happy joy stuff all the time. Everything is happy and joy, but it's not constant rotation. And I do get it. There are YouTubers out there who do things specifically for YouTube. If they don't have any more content, they'll go out and buy pigs, or they'll go out and buy a horse, or they'll go out and buy goats. Well, here's my goat. The grass is growing. That's kind of the reality. Oh, you need to cut your grass. It's disgusting. This is the reality. It's rained every day for a month, and I got one shot to cut it. I cut it, and now I got to wait again. Otherwise, the mower chute, the chute that throws the grass out, just clogs up. So I talked to Carolyn. We'll save a little bit of gas doing it this way. Instead of cutting it every week, maybe we'll cut it every 2 or 3 weeks and just go slower. Yeah, it'll take more gas for one cutting, but in the end, it'll be less gas because we don't have to do it quite as much. But everybody's wanting me to experiment, and I've talked about experiments. My life is not an experiment. My life is the way it is. I do canning videos, for example. Oh, real men do smokers. You need to build yourself a smoker. No, I don't. There's no good guarantee it's going to work. It's an experiment. It doesn't actually preserve food. Oh, yes, it does. The people up in Alaska do it all the time. Yeah, but, Alaska, they have temperatures that are cold most of the year. Here in Missouri, it gets pretty hot. You're only going to preserve food for about a month. I cured some pork one time. Everybody told me, yeah, you cure pork, it's going to last forever. It lasted for about a month. It does extend the life of the ham, but it doesn't make it perfect. You can dehydrate, but at that, you still have to vacuum seal. So we can. I don't want to do an experiment. I just want to preserve my food. Well, same thing here. I have a well, and I'm really happy with the well. But people think that I got to come up with other solutions. Not for me. What they want is other solutions for them. They don't want to drill a well. They don't want to find a place with a well. They don't want to do what it takes to do it right. So they want me to come up with alternatives for them. And the one thing I always get or asked about is dehumidifiers. Everybody wants me to put a dehumidifier in place. I've made videos about this before, and I absolutely don't agree with it. I've seen YouTubers. I know one YouTuber, Prepper, he got a dehumidifier, and he's talking about how great this is, and he runs it off a solar generator. So he runs off a solar generator, and next morning his generator's dead, of course. And so he pulls out the water, and it barely fills the cup. So it wasn't humid enough. You can't do it in winter, because in the winter time everything's dry, so you don't get that much humidity. And if you do it in your house in the winter time, you don't get any humidity, because the wood stove sucks all the water out of the house. You're actually trying to add humidity. So I mean, it's not really a huge water producer. But then if you get one of these big ones, I've seen YouTubers with these really big ones, and they played with it for a while. It cost them lots of money, and they said the only thing it did was make a lot of noise, and it didn't give them the water they want. So they put all of their stocks into this. This is the way they're going to get water. You know, they don't do any research. They don't figure out what the best solution is. They just go and do, and then, oh, that didn't work. So they want me to now experiment for them on how to fail. Well, I'm not going to fail. I don't want to fail. I want to do research, and I want to do it right, and I want to do it right the first time. Yeah, the well has been nothing but a nightmare. But in the end, I've got drinking water. I got water. Relatively cheap. So a dehumidifier is a machine that you can buy, different sizes. I mean, some of them are as big as my house, and others are, you can sit on the kitchen table. But they all use the same amount of electricity when you consider time. So if you want this big, huge one to make a gallon of water, you run it for 30 seconds, and it makes a gallon of water for 300 watts. Or you can get a little one to make a gallon of water, and it may take 2 days for 300 watts. And so I did look at it. Now, like I said, the time differences are dramatic, depending on the size, but the electricity amount is very consistent, 300 watts per hour to run. Or 300 watts, let me back up, it's 300 watts for, what it is 300 watts for 2.75 gallons of water. Different sizes will produce that at different speeds, but it's very consistent, 300 watts for 2 gallons, 2 3/4 gallons of water. Well, I would say it's supposed to be absolutely downpouring now, and it's not, because I came out like 3 or 4 minutes before the cloud was supposed to be here. So about a half hour after I finished recording that video, it started raining, and then it started hailing a little bit. Not too bad. You can see a little piece stuck right there. Well, I was able to show you the hail because I couldn't get my camera put together fast enough to, yeah, I had it all disassembled to get the SD card out of it so I could start editing the last video. So I'll stick this video inside that video somewhere. You can see it's already flooding the place up. There's actually a drainage over there. You can probably see a pipe right there. So there's drainage there, and the drainage isn't keeping up. I went out and checked the well real quick. Got my poncho right there, and it seems to be doing just fine. So back to the dehumidifier. 300 watts is actually a considerable amount of electricity. Our wash machine uses 300 watts, but it only takes about 40 minutes to do a load of laundry, so that's 300 watts per hour. So we're actually using less than 300 watts in that hour because we're only running it for 40 minutes. You can do the math. I want to talk about how reasonable it is to have a dehumidifier to suck water out. Now, a dehumidifier works similar to an air conditioner. When you look at your window air conditioner, you will see water dripping out of the bottom of it. That's because it's taking humidity out of the air and taking it outside. So it's similar. I mean, there's a little bit of differences, but it's similar to the same principles. But I could only run it for a few hours a day on the solar panels. So let's say it takes 2 days, just using as an example, 48 hours to make 3 gallons of water. I'm going to round everything up just to be clear. So let's just say it takes 300 watts for 3 gallons of water. I said 2.75, but I'm rounding up. So it takes 48 hours. Well, at nighttime and on cloudy days like this, I wouldn't be able to make any water. So it may take me a week to make 3 gallons of water with 300 watts. It just doesn't seem logical to do. Now, when we talk about my well, I have a well pump that produces 13 gallons of water per minute if I have it all the way up. Now, I recognize I throttle it down, but there are times I will throttle it all the way up if I just need a little bit of water. 5 gallons, 10 gallons, I can throttle it all the way up. So 13 gallons a minute. So if I do the math on that, 13 gallons a minute, 800 watts, that is 13 watts per minute. So 13 gallons for 13 watts. So we're looking at 3 gallons for 300 watts with the dehumidifier, or 13 gallons in 1 minute for 13 watts. I mean, think about it. 13 gallons in 1 minute. I can run it for 2 minutes and get, what, 26 gallons for roughly 26 watts, roughly, I guess. Big difference, huge difference. And I can do it on a sunny day in a matter of a couple minutes. I don't need to take up room in my house. I don't need a noisy machine. I don't need a solar generator and then get up the next morning thinking this is all the water I got. I don't know how to explain this any better. People want a shortcut so they don't have to do all the work. I don't know where the water's coming from. We really haven't had much rain today, but there is a pretty consistent flow of water. Wonder where that's coming from. That's interesting. There's a lot of things people want me to do experiments on because they don't want to go out the effort and the work, such as a smoker or a dehumidifier or to make jerky. All that takes less work, at least when they think about it. The problem, like for example, the jerky, when you tell them, yeah, you can make jerky and it will preserve probably longer than canned food, but you gotta have Ziploc bags. Whereas with canning, once you buy the jars, you never have to buy them again. Same with the lids. I use those Tadler lids. Once you buy the lids, you never have to buy them again. People tell me to buy a freeze dryer. Got to freeze dry your food. Be a lot faster and easier. Again, we're talking a massive amount of electricity. I didn't even do the research on this one today. I've done it in the past, so I don't have all the specific numbers. But it's just unreasonable to think that I would be able to power that. I guess I don't quite understand. I get accused all the time that I don't live off grid because I can't make coffee in a coffee pot. You don't have enough electric to run a coffee off a coffee pot. So some people realize, oh, he's got solar panels and coffee makers take a lot of water or wattage. Well, actually, I have proven to you that last year we could run a coffee maker. But again, not for very long. You make 1 pot of coffee. I wouldn't be able to make a pot of coffee in the morning when I get out of bed, when it's still dark. Got to wait until noon. Well, probably 10 o'clock. But then I show you a percolator and tell you that's how we make coffee. Oh, no, you got to figure out a better way. Maybe you could use the regular coffee maker. Or you're going to get the electric. People don't think. They just want something easy. I want to be able to do off-grid living, but I don't want to do it the way you do it, Rob, because I don't want to drill a well. I don't want to find I want to live in Arizona where you can find a piece of property for 2,500 bucks. Only have to pay $100 a month, but I can't have a well, so tell me how to do it differently. Well, if you live in Arizona or Utah, it's not humid there. There's no water in the atmosphere. As soon as you sweat, I know because I was in Utah, as soon as you sweat, it evaporates off your shirt and never gets wet. So it doesn't work. I don't know, there's always this magic trick. But today I got a smart aleck email and he says, I'm not a troll. Well, yes, you are a troll. because you were being sarcastic. You know, you can make water with a dehumidifier. It's simple, simple math. And he said H plus 2 equals O. No, I replied, your math is wrong, because dehumidifier equals electricity. Oh, you got me there, but you could at least make a video talking about how silly trolls are. I'm not a troll. No, you're a troll. You're deliberately trolling me, so I will make a video making fun of you. Makes no sense. So if you click this up next box to take you to video, what I was talking about yesterday's video. So if I can inspire you, just do the work so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.